Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. Remember, if you haven't subscribed, kindly do so right now in the there's a big red button written subscribe. Now let's dive into today's tutorial. Today we're going to look at the introduction to R packages. You remember in our last lesson we tried to look at what R can do by loading a simple Excel data. So today we're going to understand what are R packages and maybe do an introduction of some of the R packages that can be used when working with R. So R packages, these are just collection of R functions, compiled code and sample data. They're usually stored in a directory called library, which you're gonna check right now. And by default, when you install R, there's a set of packages which are installed during installation, and then you have an option of adding more packages later, and whenever we need a certain package for specific purposes, we can load it. Now, so before I talk about maybe installations and stuff like that, let us go through some of the packages here. If you are new to R, these terms can be new, but if you are you know a bit of R, then this is great. So remember, if you haven't watched my previous videos on R, kindly do so that we might be on the same page here. Good. Now we have the dplyr. This package is usually for manipulating data frames, which we're gonna look throughout the course. And then we also have the tidyr. This is useful when you are trying to clean up information. Remember, we're going to do some bits of data analysis here, and these packages come in handy. So whenever you call upon the string R package, this is used for working with strings or text information. And then we also have the lubridate. This is a package that is useful when manipulating data information. We have the httr. This is when you're working with website data, for example, loading some data from the website. We have the ggvis. These are an R package that is useful when creating interactive visualizations. We have the ggplot2, which is really common when you're doing graphics or data visualization. And then we have the shiny package. This is when you are building an interactive applications that you can install on websites. Yeah, though this is a bit debatable between using R or Python for security purposes, but that's a topic for another day. We have the real package in R, which is for actually R input output, which is importing and exporting data. We have the R Markdown. This is used for interactive documents for sharing information. Now, from all these data sets you have looked, you can actually use one package manager, the Pacman, called Pacman. This is an R package manager, Pacman, which you can use it to actually load all the data, all the packages that we have talked about. So this is just a few of the many R packages. Remember, R is open source, and such it has a high advantage over the rest. Yeah. Now let's look at how you can use the Pacman to install packages. So I have some bit of code here. So you've realized here in line 1, I've begun with the hash, then install package. These are comments. These are how you write comments in R. And whenever you want to treat your data so that it can be readable and clean, kindly be able to use comments at least when trying to introduce a new line of code or some bit of line of codes that explain what you're doing. So like in this case, this is the code. Line 2 is the code to install packages, Pacman, because this is, as I said, this is a package manager. This is an R package manager which you can use to load, actually to install all of the data. So let's try and run this. So remember, in R, whenever you put your cursor there in line 2 and then click on run, it will actually only run this line of code, which is line 2. You see? But if you want to run the entire selection, you have to command or control all, select everything, then you run now to run the entire thing. But because I want us to go step by step, let us check on this. So if you want to install packages, you can just click there and run. So you realize here at the console, it is installing, and then there's this red thing. Whenever you see that, that means it is performing something. R is performing something in our studio, and then you can see it has been downloaded here. Good. Now we want to check for the available R packages that we already have. So there's a line when you say .lib paths. This one will actually first show you the path to those packages. So if we run that code, you see here, it will tell us that our library is here in this path. Library frameworks resources library located here. So if you want to check what available packages we have, we can run that line 6. That is the how you can know which. So whenever I click that, you saw it opened a new tab and gave me a list of all the available packages that I've installed in my computer. So you can see here on the left there is a package name and a little bit of explanation of what the package does. So you can just take your time and read through everything. A good example is that in the last tutorial we use the package read Excel to read Excel data. So if you can look for it here, yeah, let's try and find it here. Yeah, here it is, this one. So if you can see here, yeah, here it's for reading Excel files. Okay, this is quite useful when you want to refer. It can be used when you want to refer, maybe you have forgotten or you're trying to learn new packages and what they do. You can come here and use that code and see what they do. Good. Now, after we have installed packages, as I said, Pacman is our package manager, and it can load it can install all the few examples of the R packages I did mention earlier. So here is my comment that is basically about loading the package. So let us here there are two ways. One, you can load the package by using the require. So let me run that and see. So it is loading the required package Pacman, or you can use the library. You can call upon the library and put the package you want to call. Yeah, so you can also use this one. Yeah, and then whenever you want maybe to load maybe a set of packages, you can also use this line 12, the Pacman. This, see what that is. You might include that and then put a list. Maybe I've just chosen maybe these 3, but you can keep the list long or short. And there's something else I want to talk about. For example, you do not remember the complete thing. So when you're starting to type, R always gives you, you'll see some form of autocomplete there. Yeah, there are very many programs you can use that can help you to autocomplete, like Kite, which you can look at your own time. Now once you have loaded your packages, let's say you want to clean up after maybe you have performed your analysis, your lines of code. Now you can unload. So if we click on load, that one, we're gonna load these three packages. So if I come here under packages, you see the one that is ticked, any package that is ticked is loaded. So I just look at the dplyr, you see it is loaded. I also look at the tidyr, it's loaded. Here it is. And the string r, oops, yeah, it is loaded. Okay, so if we want to now clean up down, let's say we want to unload the dplyr and the tidyr packages, and then you see here I get the message the following packages have been unloaded. So if I come here and try to look at the deployer and see if it's tick, you see there's no tick. But now remember I didn't unload the string R. So if I go back and check on the string R, check if it is ticked, yes, it is, because I haven't unloaded it. So again, you can now come and use these to unload all. You can load all the packages you had loaded, and then you can also maybe use another one to detach. For example, I want to detach a single package. You can also use this code. Let's say if we run that, uh, uh, you can say touch like that. This one you carry a number of arguments like that, which you're gonna talk later. Okay. Okay. For example, we say package data sets like that. Yeah, yeah. So this is how you can do your cleanup, and this is how you can do your load, and you can check for your packages and install your packages like this. So this is just an introduction to our packages, but what I'm gonna ask you to do, just go to the library for checking available packages and try and check, read through these, try to check the install packages you have, try to install more packages, make sure you understand all this for, because we're going to start working with these packages a lot, and also make it a culture to have clean code, so that whenever you always use comments, so that somebody who's gonna read through your code can understand what you are doing, and maybe can add and deduce something from it. So until next time, bye. Remember, if you haven't subscribed, kindly do so that we keep on learning and growing your mind.